Hey everybody, welcome to the Vitruvian Gamer. My name is Kurt and I'm here to do a small preview of an upcoming crowdfunding game called Beast and Diplomacy. This is a 1 to 6 player card drafting, tableau building, worker placement game designed by Mike Rebel and published by Dragon Down Productions. This game will play in about 25 minutes per player, might be a little bit longer, and is for ages 14 and up. In this game, players are knights in an annual beast exhibition contest, capturing beasts, trying to impress diplomats and hire personnel to assemble the best exhibition of beasts to ever grace the world of Aterra. The game takes place over 3 rounds, which are called days in this game, and each day is divided into 5 phases. In the dawn, each player will get an extra quest card, which allows them for some end of game scoring. In the morning, players will use their workers to draft different types of cards into their hand, which can be used in various phases later. Types of cards are beasts, which have multiple traits like color, habitat, species, element, diet and activity. Diplomats, who have a certain preference in traits in beasts. Traders, which players can use to sell off beasts with certain traits that the trader likes. And personnel, who can help you with one-time abilities or improve or change other cards. During noon, players will play all their gained diplomats into their tableau. In the afternoon, in turn order, each player will be able to buy environments to place beasts inside of them. Now, each time a beast is played, each player checks their diplomats and gain or if they like a trait, if the diplomat likes a trait of the beast being played. Also, some personnel cards can be played in this phase. In the evening, there is a maintenance phase. Every beast, environment, and some cards in your hand have a maintenance cost, which have to be paid now with ore. Players play 3 days like this, and then they will score points from their beasts, their quests, their diplomats, some of their personnel, and also earn king's medals and leftover ore. And the player with the most points wins. So this is a small overview of this game because there's a lot of things going on and I'm going to just break it down in some things that I liked and things that I liked less. Now, that being said, I said I liked less because there was not really anything that I really didn't like about this game. So that's one thing. So let's start with what I liked. So what I liked in this game was, first of all, and that's how you start the game, the rulebook and the player aid. Well, each player will get a big player aid here, and there's this rulebook. And I must say, this is probably the most concise rulebook that I ever read. Every time, so each thing in the game, like a diplomat or a beast or a worker, has their own icon. And after every time that type is mentioned in the rulebook, they also show you the icon. Now, maybe it's a little bit too much, a little bit cluttered, but on the other hand, everything is explained in the rulebook, and it's super. This is a big rulebook, and maybe many rulebooks wouldn't be this big, but this one explains so much. Now, there's also an appendix explaining, I think, about every card in the game. And there's a lot of cards in here. And then there is this kind of big, but super useful player aid, which gives you all types of traits that beasts can have and how big of a chance you have of drawing them, of getting them, because some traits are more common than others. So very interesting, very good. It gives you an overview of a complete round of each phase. Super duper well done thing. Now, I also like the theme, being champions, trying to go outside there and capture beasts for an expedition, selling them to traders, and getting personnel to help you, trying to impress these diplomats, and it is pretty cool. I also like the artwork, which might be very kind of controversial, because, and that's one of the things that I liked less. So I'm going to mention one now. Although the artwork is pretty cool, I must say. Like, I'm just going to show you. You saw some pictures during the overview as well. It's cool artwork, but it is, and they're not hiding it. It's in there. It's on the rulebook. It's AI artwork. So it's by created with playgroundai.com. It's mentioned here. They're not hiding it. I'm not going to go further into that. Some people will mind, some people won't. But it is what it is. It does look pretty cool. But hey. Anyway, what do I like about this game as well? It is very fun to build up your plan in your hand while drafting. Because that's what you're doing. You're placing these workers and you're gaining cards in your hand, which you will be able to use later. But while doing so, you're trying to get synergies for selling your beasts or for scoring diplomats. And it's really interesting to do the drafting and trying to build up a hand of cards that works well with other cards in your hand or with things that you already have in your exhibition. I really like that. Also, although it's a big rulebook and there's a lot of things going on the table, the flow of the game is quite easy. Especially if you... at the start of the game it might be a little bit harder, but after a while the flow is super simple, and also, as I mentioned, the player aid helps in that. There's also limited downtime because, and I mentioned that in the overview as well, when a player, any player, plays a beast, other players, and the player that plays a beast himself as well, of themselves as well, they look at all their diplomats and see if they are looking for traits of the played beast. And then you will get, if so, they will get ore for it, so you get some resources. And that keeps you also in the game during another player's turn. So that's pretty cool. And what I also liked is the crunchiness because of the ore management. So as I said, there is a maintenance cost to each and everything that you play. And at the end of each day, you will have to pay the cost. If you're not able to pay the costs, you will lose beasts, you have to sell them, and you probably will not win the game. So it's a complete puzzle of how much ore do I have? How much will I get? Will I get some ore from my diplomats? Which beast will I have to sell in order to get enough ore in order to maintain my exhibition? And of course, the more points you want to have from beasts, the more maintenance you have to pay for those beasts. So that I really liked. Now, some things that I liked less about the game is that there also are a lot of icons on this game. Beasts, every beast has 6 icons on them. They have a location, they have a color, they have a species, they have traits, they are awake night or day, their diet. So it's a lot of icons, and as long as you're playing in front of you, it's not that hard. But if you want to keep an eye on other players' beasts that they're playing, or you want to see what they're trying to go for in the drafting phase, it might be hard to figure out or to keep a good eye on what's happening. So that was a little bit difficult, but hey, it does also add something to the game to have that much traits. So it's kind of a balancing act. So as I mentioned, that's one thing that I liked less, is especially in the phase where you're checking your diplomats in order to see if one of them will activate to get some ore because of a beast that is being played. And then we have another little downside, and that's also to do with the good thing about that management that I said about, with the ore. This, especially in that way, can produce some AP, some analysis paralysis with some players, because the puzzle of your costs that you have lying there, you need some ore, and you're all the time you're calculating in your head on the board, on your table, what do I need and how will I get it, and that brings some longer turns. So as I said, there is a lot of interaction because of the diplomats, but on the other hand, sometimes you really do have to do the math in your head, and then your turns might take a bit longer, especially when things on the board disappear while you were hoping to get something in your plan, and so then the plan doesn't work out. You have to reconfigure your brain and do another math exercise, and that might be a little bit hard for some players, and it might take some time. That's also why in the intro I said 25 minutes per player. I think the higher you go in player count, the higher that number of time will get as well. So I also played this solo because it's a 1 to 6 player game. The solo mode was very simple. You play just like the base game, but you're trying to score 100 points, which I didn't manage so far. So that's a good thing, I believe. But I also believe that the more players you will get, the more tight the board gets for drafting. So that will be very different. But of course, the more interaction you will get with the diplomats, but it will also lengthen the game quite a bit because of figuring out all those small icons on the other side of the table, which gets active when beasts are being played, in order to see if your diplomats will give you ore. And if you do that for 6 players in one round, each time a beast is being played, I believe the play time will grow quite a bit. But anyway, so that's some good things, some lesser things, but as I said, no really bad things. So I congratulate them with the work they have put into this product. It looks amazing. It's a really fun game. People I played with had a really good time, so that's for sure. And yeah, if you like what you see, if you think this is a good thing for you, go check out, as soon as the game will be on crowdfunding. I think there's already a preview page, so I will put the link in the description below. And just go check it out and see if you're interested in backing this game or not. So that's it, folks. This is what I feel about this game. Now, this was not this was sponsored. They sent me this copy. I have to send it to another reviewer. So I'm not getting paid, so that's for sure. I'm also not getting this copy. I'm just doing this because I wanted to. So take that as an extra incentive. Yeah, I like the game. I would probably give it a 7.5 if I had to score it somehow on 10, of course, not on 100. And I wouldn't mind playing it this more often and feeling more and seeing more about the strategies and tactics that you can use in drafting, and with all those different cards. There are so many cards in this game. Anyhow, thank you for watching this preview video. I hope you enjoyed it, and go check out the link in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and see you all in the future. Bye bye.